Good morning, pregame crew. It is Thursday, June 1st, 2023, 6:20 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:20 a.m. Eastern Time. It is hard to talk when you're smiling so big, and I am smiling very big. I'm so happy to be back home, and by home, I mean on this show with you. So good morning, Shake and Bake. Hey, Bennett, Renaissance Man, Greg. Demise? I don't know if that's the word, but that's pretty clever. Hey, Marvin. Hey, Casey. Chris, we love you back. Thank you. Thank you, Mighty Pawns. Hey, Tess. Topher, Mal, B-Hawk, Homebody. Good morning. Hey, Baskin Mary. If I could get an audio visual check, that'd be great. We just had data come out. We had ADP non-farm employment change. 278,000 was anticipated. 170 anticipated. The actual was 278. We have initial jobless claims in 9 minutes and non-farm productivity. Lots of data. 9:45 manufacturing PMI. 10 a.m. ISM manufacturing employment. And 1 p.m. FOMC member Harker speaks. Yeah, and a partridge in a pear tree. It's that kind of day. Thank you. Thank you, Ars Hero, DC Irish, Pete Town. I'm assuming y'all can hear me just fine. I'm not getting an audio visual check, but that's okay. I don't want to put y'all to work this early in the morning. I'm working, but y'all don't need to be working. Well, you kind of do. You kind of need to be working and preparing for the stock market. If you're going to trade today, be ready with a game plan. And you only need one plan on one name. And if it sets up, great. And if it doesn't, great. Jomo, joy of missing out. Smile and wave. I will take chart requests now. And I'll officially get started in 9 minutes. I jump on a little early, especially this morning, to get my TA muscles warmed up. I kept up with the market while I was gone at a pretty 50,000 foot level. I didn't get into minor details with different names. I did watch AI, PLTR, Sound, and NVIDIA. Of course, QQQ. I saw the XLV come back yesterday, and it's always helpful to watch Dan's market recap videos. That helps you get caught up. Shout out to Jason and Dan for covering for me for pregame show, and Jason for covering my midday shows, and Lamont and Dinzy for doing commodities. It takes a village, and I appreciate my village. The party is here, Joe. Let's go. Okay, Marvin, all is good. Perfect. Hey, Matt and Al. Okay, let me back up. Let's see. While my mom was getting chemo, I was reading all the tweets that I got in response to a tweet I made about her, and she was tearing up. And Mal, you said mom. I got a couple messages, all of our love and prayers to your mom, and we just laugh because that sounds so cute to us. We just love that accent and that word. So I call her my yummy mummy anyway. It's a Leanne Morgan joke. Okay, XBI. XBI daily inside bar yesterday. Going pretty sideways. We're getting over yesterday's. Nope, we're not getting over yesterday's high. We had that big spike up at 85.50. I would anticipate a lower high compared to 85.50. I don't know if XBI has any particular data in their major holdings. They don't have a lot of major holdings. They have a lot of minor holdings. They have volume. Maybe not quality, but they have quantity. Who knows? 85.50 is your resistance. Daily downtrend. I'd watch for that hourly overbought conditions for potential top fish. I'm glad to be back. All right, let's look at Snow. Interesting question, Sandor. Of course, I'd answer it better if I had time to marinate on it, but I'm gonna work hard on giving you a good answer for that one because I think it's a great question. All right, Snow is going sideways. We had a big green day yesterday, considering the market was red yesterday. That was quite a feat. Daily, we're still looking for a lower high. Odds favor a lower high compared to 185. So bears will be looking to top fish this. We hit hourly overbought. Hourly. Y'all got to remember, I've been saying hourly and pyre and ire for the last 5 days back deep in the country. So Takes a while to get back in the groove. I'd look for a bottom fish compared to yesterday's low, but I would be careful with that daily low or high. That push-pull of that daily low or high being the more likely scenario, yet getting a higher low compared to yesterday's low, that push-pull makes me push away from names like this. Okay. Cat. And then I'll answer Sandor's question. I sure did say marinate. Okay, 205.60 was your low yesterday. Caterpillar is in a downtrend. I don't know what's going on with industrials. 204.04 is your last line in the sand. On the monthly, we're looking for a higher low. We haven't gotten daily oversold yet to nail that monthly higher low. I guess we did back here. 1 second, I have to cough, sorry. Daily oversold didn't get the job done. Maybe 4 hour oversold would get the job done. I would look for a bottom fish compared to 204.04, then look for overbought conditions on shorter time frames for top fish setups. This is pretty bearish. Okay, so Sandor says, what are the basic points of the footprint to become a profitable trader? Okay, let me just kind of roll out my thoughts on this. Steps to become a profitable trader. Understand TA, and that is actually the easiest part of trading. And I'm not saying it's easy, it's just one of the easier parts of trading is understanding TA. Paper trade. Define your specific edge with back tests to prove it. You have to have an edge, and you want to limit the number of indicators. Don't go looking for the holy grail on indicators. Waste of time. Limit the number of indicators you have and tickers that you watch. Then begin trading small size. Take break if you're losing money. And if you can't take a break if you're losing money, that's a problem into itself. Do you understand that? Because this can become some type of obsession. There are people with gambling tendencies that don't tend to be successful in trading because they rather push buttons than make money. So you have to decide, would you rather push buttons or make money? And most importantly, I should have listed this first, stop losses. And you must aim for more than a 1-to-1 risk to reward. If you're constantly taking profit when you see green and then letting losers run, bye-bye, you're not going to make it trading. And it's so difficult for people to do this. And I'm saying so difficult because it's so difficult for me to do this. I speak from experience. That's why I'm so passionate about what I do. It's not like I've read about this in some book. I'm a trader. I've gone through all of this. You must aim for more than 1-to-1 risk to reward. And when you do see big profits, you scale some out and then trail it up. And you should be following these steps. You must understand TA. You must be willing to paper trade. There's a lot to be said to be willing to paper trade, meaning you don't have to have money on the line at all times. Define your specific edge, back test and prove it, limit the number of indicators and tickers, and even people on Twitter that you follow. Now, in just a second, I'm going to ask you to follow me on Twitter, but I'm not going to tell you a bunch of mumbo jumbo and 4,000 setups a day. That's not my style. I like to keep it simple. So they just came from afar. I love that, Gregory. That's cute. You're back for more. All right. Slow Devil, all opinions aside for fundamental reasons, because there's a lot of stuff out there that people are pretty upset with Target. They kind of suffered the same fate that Budweiser did with different people not agreeing with their stances. And as my mom would say, I ain't got a dog in that hunt. So it's not like I'm trying to tell you something fundamental. I need to change those settings. Too many numbers there. So we broke through 13371. There will be a dead cat bounce on this, but I think RSI is less important because this has a fundamental reason for the rollover. So 108.49. So your next supports are 110.30, 108.49. When we are looking for a bottom fish, remember the most important thing is buying on the right side of the V. So you have this big flush, that's target. You want to buy on the right side of the V after a small time frame trend change back to the upside. Okay, now we're bouncing on 6:30 data. The jobless claims were bouncing a little bit. So now I'm going to lay out what I think is going to happen for today, or not what I think is going to happen, how I'm going to sequence today and how I see today possibly developing. You're welcome, Sandor. Good morning, Bennett. Hey, Wave. Hey, Norma in Mexico. I am great. Y'all want me to recap my weekend that nobody asked me about? Y'all probably don't care, but this is my weekend. So I went to a really fancy wedding. That's me and my husband and my sister-in-law, brother-in-law, my mother-in-law, my other brother-in-law. My husband has 4 brothers. So that was me all glammed up Saturday night, and that was me helping my dad disassemble the hay rake. We had to take that housing off, and I was his son for many years. He had 3 girls, so he had to wait 10 years for a boy, so he trained us all how to do mechanicking with him and help. And then that was me after, covered in oil. Then the next day... The next day, I help Mom on Monday with her fried fish meals. She serves about 80 people in our community. They deliver these meals to their homes. I help them make those plates. And then Monday afternoon, I help dig out potatoes with my dad, over 200 pounds. And we had 2 friends helping us, and we gave them half the load. We only got 1 row done. We got a lot of rows left. I had to leave. And then Tuesday, watched my mom get chemo, and yesterday went to the doctor with her, and we got good news. So that was a 90-second recap, and I'm here now. And this is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. And what I do here every morning, my goal is to get you ready for the trading day. I use this market environment dossier to try to get objective numbers assigned to what I'm trying to convey to you a little more objectively. And I've created a video, and our team has developed a document around this, and I will put a link in the chat box when I'm done with the show. I forgot to do that ahead of time. I apologize. And I also have notes off screen, and I save those notes for TCG members, and I copy and paste those when the show is done. So we are looking more bullish than bearish. And you're like, what the heck, Lori? Did you see Dan's video last night? Did you see the red yesterday? Did you see the title of the video? Yes. We had a little consolidation yesterday. No harm, no foul. No major structural damage done. None. No major structural damage done. So let me just kind of hone in on this and make sure you understand that I'm not saying we don't have more consolidation coming. That could happen. We retrace about 55% of the low from last Wednesday to the high of this Tuesday. We've retraced about 50% of that. So on ES, a lower high is possible. A higher high is not guaranteed. What is more likely on NASDAQ is a higher high. Do y'all see that? We have only retraced about 30% of the move from the low of last Wednesday to the high of Monday. We have a potential daily bull flag on deck for NASDAQ. That is that's a lot of taters. So the more likely scenario is a higher low on NASDAQ, and I'm going to kind of stay focused on that because that's where I have clarity. So do I have clarity here? So you see we've retraced about 55%. No. So we could set a lower high, or we could do a higher high. We could bounce to a quick lower high and then roll over. On ES, I don't have clarity. On NASDAQ, I have clarity. A higher low is the more likely scenario. So when I kind of zoom in and I look at these finer details on the hourly chart, I'm like, okay, we got a double top. But I feel more comfortable being a bull against 14248 than I am being a bear against 1433375. Do you see why? I am using my technical analysis to lay out the more likely scenarios. Man, if you missed Joey's webinar, I believe it was last Thursday, you really missed out, and you can look up Identifying More Likely Scenarios chart, guys. That was an hour and 35 minutes of unbelievable free education. I would strongly encourage you to watch that. So on NASDAQ, I'm looking bullish. That is easier for me to sequence. And when I say sequencing, I was bored on the plane and I picked up Candy Crush, that game I loaded in 2013. I remember because my husband and I were on our pre-wedding planning weekend at our venue, and I started Candy Crush and I totally got addicted, completely addicted. And I was terrible. It took me forever to get through like the 20th whatever level. And yesterday I picked it up and I'm on the 90th level. Is it because I'm super smart? No, it's because I've learned sequencing. If this, then this. If this, then that. And I understand you have to wait for the sequencing. In Candy Crush, you have to say, okay, I'm going to line up these three things. And I'm not going to play those three things till I do these two things. And then the combo will then help me for a win. You sequence it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't understand sequencing as much 10 years ago as I do now. So it's not like I developed these major brain cells between September 2013 and now. It's the fact that I understand how important sequencing is and patience. And that's what trading is. So if I'm sequencing things today on NASDAQ, which I am sequencing every day, a 4-hour lower high is the more likely scenario on NASDAQ. So where that gets set, I don't know, but I'm ready to buy a pullback. If this low can hold 14248, then I'm looking for a higher low. If it can't, I already know that I can go to 14198, let's call it 14200, and still be safe for a potential bull flag. Wait, did I get that wrong? I totally did. I said the right number. I just put it on there. Here, 14186. 14186 keeps a bull flag alive. I know I can go all the way down to that level looking long, and I have better odds in my favor. So that means the sequence of events today would be, let's see, it would be bearish in the morning, looking for that 4-hour lower high, and then I would switch to bullish late morning, afternoon, looking for that daily higher low. Does that make sense? This is an example of sequencing, meaning I'm not going to get overly bullish this morning, but I'm going to pick my spots. I'm going to pick my locations. NASDAQ provides the most clarity for me. Oh, thank you, Rav. Oh, Rav, could you you asked me to post that med thing, and I did not do it. So I am so sorry. I got back pretty late last night and I was unprepared a little bit, but I did do my homework for the show. So let's keep it rolling, and I appreciate that, Rav. Okay, so on RTY, we're looking for a potential 4-hour higher low. Does it mean it's going to happen? No. This is not healthy bounce activity. Do y'all see that? We're right at the 0.382. That doesn't mean a higher low is the most likely scenario. It could happen, but it's not the more likely scenario. So then RTY is not a trade setup for me. I go back to NASDAQ. This I understand. This is higher conviction trade setup for me. Okay, on YM, have we bounced enough to make enough room for a higher low? Not necessarily. A lower low is possible. So I take this off my list of potential trades I'm going to take. And I'm going to look to NASDAQ for leadership, or for it to say, I'm done. I'm tired of holding up this market. There's more meaningful consolidation coming in. Then, okay, then that's the way the cookie crumbles. All right, let me go back to economic events. If you missed this earlier, let me just show you again. So at 9:45, I always tell you, set your alarm. So 15 minutes after the market opens, we're going to have data. 30 minutes after the market opens, we're going to have data. We have oil inventory at 11 a.m. today, and we have nat gas should be today. It is not showing up. We have nat gas inventory should be at 10:30. Check that if you're trading nat gas. And oil's at 11 a.m. because we had Monday's holiday. It was moved. We have FOMC member Harker speaking at 1 p.m. Eastern. All right. One more thing. Tomorrow, big data. Big data. Big data. We have non-farm payrolls at 8:30 in the morning. So, and unemployment rate. That could be big. So more data coming tomorrow. All right. Oh, thank you, Rab. I appreciate that. Y'all, we just have the best people that work at TCG. And it is our absolute passion to make you a profitable trader. I can promise you that. Okay, let's look at the dollar. The dollar finally found some weakness. I've been gone a little bit and I'm like, well, did the dollar decide to take a breather? Well, yes. Yes, it did. And that's good for the market, but the market is not taking advantage of this opportunity with dollar weakness. However, gold is. Gold got an hourly higher high, but it ain't cute. We got enough room for a higher low and a pullback compared to 1970. We do have enough room for a gold hourly higher low, and that could be a trade setup you stalk today. Oil has an hourly EQ. Man, that's clear. Wow. Well, it's not crystal clear, but I would say that's pretty clear. So we have the 50 MA overhead. Again, inventory today could shake this out. We are in a weekly downtrend on oil. Will we get a higher low compared to 63.70? Bulls didn't necessarily make plenty of room for it, but it's possible. And I like that we're sitting on the weekly 200 MA. So let's see if we can break bull out of this. So I like the bottom fish here against 67.51 double bottom. As far as risk to reward, it's a high probability of getting stopped out, but I like the long on a pullback closer to 67.50. Nat gas is naughty gas for a reason. It is the Black Widow. It is a mess, an absolute mess. If you have an edge that your particular system provides you an edge in this scenario, bravo to you. Have fun, tear it up. I ain't gonna touch this. I mean, even a bottom fish against 220 doesn't make sense with this type of downside momentum. So if you're trading that gas, may the odds forever be in your favor. Apple, I had a friend message me last night saying, hey, what do you think about the Apple chart? And I had not looked at it yesterday on the daily time frame. And when I open it up, I'm like, yuck, that's ugly. That is a tweezer top. So we have upper wicks on these two daily candles, meaning bears are selling into the push. Bears are selling into the push. And that is marking short-term bull exhaustion. So here's the trade setup on Apple. And this is just this function over here, long and short. So I chose short and I'm saying I'm looking for a top fish compared to 179.35 due to the size of the pullback yesterday. So Apple, odds favor a lower high. Now, if NASDAQ is ripping and says, hey, our daily high or low is in, daily bull flag more likely, then I'm going to back away from this idea. Okay, Amazon, same concept. Amazon is a little stronger than Apple. It is fighting to hold this 50 MA here, and we are over the hourly EMAs, but I would still say, think a top fish against 122.04 is more prudent than a bottom fish compared to 119.70. Well, whoa. Let me just hold up and make sure I'm saying this. Yikes. And it's okay to stop and say, you know what? That's not completely accurate. Let me just reevaluate that. A daily high or low is the more likely scenario. If we're screaming our head off toward 122.04, I would look for a potential top fish on a 2-minute trend change to the downside. And if you're pulling back pretty hard into 119.17, I'd look for a 2-minute trend change to the long side for a potential long. Does that make sense? I'm using these key levels as locations for trades, and I would feel more comfortable when I zoom out for that daily high or low, because this is a pretty strong chart. NVIDIA, this is a weak chart. Daily chart, we're looking for daily high or low, sure. We didn't get hourly oversold today. Man, if we could push down into major oversold, I'd be looking long down here on a major oversold push down. Otherwise, looking for a top fish against yesterday's short, high 402.95. Tesla is stronger than most. I like a pullback buy against that hourly 50 MA. You have support at 198. wait, let me make sure that's right. 198.54 and 195.95. Thank you, Bennett. I don't know what just caught my eye for me to go over and look at that. I appreciate that. I cannot wait to look at it. I love Sean. He's a sweetie. Okay, so I'll be looking for potential Tesla pullback buy. But when I say I will be looking, I will watch it. But if there's a higher conviction trade, I don't take it. I'm looking for the highest conviction trade setups. And as I progress as a trader, and yes, I'm growing every single day as a trader, and I'm learning, I'm getting better, I'm taking 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, I will look for the higher conviction setups, and I need to trade less. The more I trade, I realize that the less I need to trade. Isn't that weird? I need to trade less and just wait for the higher conviction setups. I come into the day as a retired trader in my mindset, and only the highest conviction trades can take me out of retirement. AI, they obviously missed somehow on earnings, and they're getting kind of torn up over it. And now we switch to looking for overbought conditions. So 15-minute overbought reverse back burner. You see that little orange triangle there? I'm looking for a 15-minute overbought condition on AI for a potential top fish. They got pretty beat up on earnings last night. Yes, a daily high or low is the more likely scenario. 33.50 fills that gap, and it looks like that gap fill will most likely hold before open. Or into open. So we're filling that gap. And bulls will be looking for a bottom fish. I just wouldn't use RSI to the oversold side as my indicator, because we can go lower than you think, because this oversold conditions are coming off of news. Rivian is getting hit on Lucid. Lucid had an offering. I think it's 3. You can always click this little lightning here to get the news. They had $3 billion. Let me just put this. I haven't done this in a while. $3 billion offering yesterday. That is huge. And Rivian, however you say it, is getting hit on that. So they are taking out the low of yesterday. So this is one of those, one bad apple can ruin the whole bunch. And that's exactly what's happening here. So I like Rivian short as a laggard trade to that Lucid offering. SOUN, we had John Charts. He's pointing out this triple inside bar. I like playing a break on this. Odds favor a break to the downside if it has any AI correlation hits it, because AI did not do great on earnings. We have a lot of pressure building up here on this chart. So I think just playing the break because it's so tight is the way I would do this. So look for a bull break over 311 or a bear break below 292 and take that trade for potential follow through. XLF and XLV, they're in the same boat. They actually bounced very nicely. XLV doesn't have a lot of pre-market volume typically. I'm going to take this level off. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to leave that level on because we're going to go over gap fill. So if we gap up, which right now it looks as though, come on computer, it looks as though we may gap up. If we're unable, so we gap up and we're unable to fill that gap early on, that shows that bull strength. And inability to fill the gap shows bull strength, and that's a trigger for a long. If we come back into yesterday's range, deep into the range, then you look for a top fish because that shows that bears are taking back over. Odds favor a higher low compared to yesterday's low, 126.05. So that's XLV and XLF. Pretty much same conditions. It's not as bullish as XLV, but we have plenty of room for a higher low compared to yesterday's low of 31.49. So I like a pullback buy on this. Someone is asking about someone being Allie's asking about AMC. You're here from Colombia. Hey, user WTKYS. I hope you are well. I love doing this. I promise it's my absolute passion in life is trading, and my second passion in life is teaching trading. This is of course above and beyond my children and my family and my husband. All right, lower low on the daily. This was not a true pivot, but I wouldn't necessarily say we're looking for a weekly high or low. It makes it a little tough. I look for bounces for shorting. 5 or 15 minute overbought conditions for shorting. That's a pretty weak chart. Hey, Pentus, yeah, I'm back in the game. Hey, Al. Y'all, if y'all could hit that like button, that'd be great. Every time I take a few days off, even though I have amazing coverage, I kind of lose traction a little bit with YouTube, and it kind of shakes up the YouTube algorithm. So if you could hit that like button, it really helps YouTube figure out that this may be helpful just a little bit. And give me a follow on Twitter. That'd be lovely. I have time for another ticker. Nah. You're thinking this is a weekly cup and handle. I want y'all to remember what a cup and handle represents. So cup and handle is at the top of an uptrend. And it is a continuation pattern, meaning you're going up, up, up. You have a very healthy rounded bottom where bulls say not so fast, bears. You bull flag out a little bit and then you continue. Do you see how this is not that? Not at all. So learning the difference between continuation patterns versus reversal patterns is very helpful. A reversal pattern is a head and shoulders. So using that same concept, you're going up, up, up and away, and then you have a head and shoulders. That's a reversal pattern, meaning you're looking for a reversal in trend. And so is an inverse head and shoulders. Yeah, you don't get any potatoes if you don't hit that like button. That's right. Yeah, DG earnings. Be careful on these dip buys. Remember, they're down on earnings for a reason. So RSI means less, and the 3-day no touch rule is for a reason. When names get obliterated on earnings, you step away from them for 3 days, because what's going to happen tomorrow? We had earnings this morning. What's going to happen tomorrow? Barclays is going to come out and say, we say that it's overweight, or that we're going to downgrade it to $150 per share is the new price target. You get downgrades. You get people coming out and bashing it on CNN or CNBC. So just remember the no touch rule. And they say it like that, right? How long ago did I talk about Apple? 7.3 minutes ago. I don't know. I have no idea. So it was right here. So I pretty much go in order. So if I did it right after Nat Gas. So you can kind of see here, I kind of did it in that order. So Riot, what you up to, Riot? Bitcoin is more bearish than bullish. Looking for a daily high or low. Four-hour EQ. I don't know. I would look for a top fish against yesterday's high, 1204, knowing what I know about Bitcoin, that it looks pretty bearish right now. Good morning, NCLH. Oof. Was I too sarcastic there? I've been around my family, so we like to joke with each other a lot. It's constant roasting. Okay, NCLH. Double top at $14.99, $14.97. Yeah, I'd feel more comfortable top fishing this up here than going long here. Y'all, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notify button. TCG members, I'm going to have these notes over to you in about 32 seconds. So thank you for being here, and you stop losses.